Hello, everyone. I am Marissa McCasty, she, her, hers, Leadership Development Manager for SUNY Sale Institute. And I just wanted to give you a little rundown of what our agenda is going to look like for the session. We'll just do a couple quick introductions, and then we'll give an overview of what we do here at the Sale Institute, and then get into what you're all here for, which is a Student Leadership Academy. And then we're gonna leave some time for questions and things like that. But if you do have a burning question, please feel free to place it in the chat. For those of you who haven't yet, if you want to put your name and campus into the chat to say hello to everybody, feel free to do that. Okay, so like I said, I'm Marissa McCasty. I'm the Leadership Development Manager for the SUNY Sale Institute. And the SUNY Sale Institute provides leadership development programming for faculty, staff, and students across SUNY and beyond. And I am joined by Carolyn Matisky, our Associate Director. She's waving. And just a little bit about me. Prior to SUNY Sale, I worked in the Applied Learning Office for SUNY System, and we were able to expand experiential education opportunities for students and make sure that they had the opportunity to do an applied learning experience. And as you're going to hear throughout this session, it's very related, and I have always had an interest in providing these resources for students. I think it's why I do the work. So I'm very excited to talk with you all today. So let's see who we have here in the chat. Okay. Great. A lot of hello, John from Cortland, Eileen from Rockland, Christy from FIT, Ryan from Upstate, Ruth from Potsdam, Carolyn from Sale, Chip from Geneseo, Mike from Cornell, Danielle from SUNY Empire, Kelly from Columbia Green, and Angela from North Country, and Laura from ESF. So welcome, everyone. And I am going to do a quick, let's see here, a quick poll, just a quick poll. Okay, so I'm going to ask if you've ever heard of SUNY Sale before. So feel free to answer however you would like. There's a few different options. Give another second for any responses. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, so a lot of you have heard of us, but have not really worked with the Institute. So it starts today. That's exciting. And I have been in a sale presentation, great. And then 25%, this is the first time. So thank you for that. And I will stop sharing those. Okay. Just to give you a little bit of background on SALE, we were established about 4 years ago by our executive director, Jason Lane, and you'll be able to see a picture of him and the SALE team in a minute. But our mission is to develop and provide cutting-edge leadership and professional development training for faculty and staff across the 64 campuses. He really saw the need and saw the vision for providing these resources for our faculty, staff, and students. And so we're grateful for that and to be able to live out that vision. This is our SAIL team here, and it looks like a lot of us. So what I was saying about Jason, he's in the left corner there, and then right next to him is Carolyn Machiski, and I'm right next to Carolyn, and Joyce, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. She's our graduate assistant. She's great, and she has helped us really support the Institute and in anything that we need. So we're thankful for her, and hopefully you'll have a chance to meet her at some point. We do have several SAIL fellows and campus strategic leadership partners that we work with across the system, and they have expertise in a wide range of things: organizational communication, leading high-performing teams, mindfulness and meditation. So we have a good group of people that we work with to provide these resources for our campuses. And among those are our SAIL signature programs. We have our winter leadership, our summer leadership, executive leadership academies. We also have more specific is the CIO Leadership Academy. This is actually a picture from our graduation, this past graduation. Being that we went to a virtual environment, we made it work. And it was really great. And Carolyn, she did a wonderful job with this, and to make it so that the cohort was still connecting. We started out in person a few months back, and then we were able to, all of the participants were able to present their applied learning projects. For a lot of our leadership academies, there's an applied learning project component. So they were doing that among many other fun things to keep the day going and keeping everyone engaged. And that is them super happy to be graduating with their certificates and things. So you might recognize some of those folks from your campus. We also have a department chair summit for those who are new to department chair or have been doing it for years and just want to get more skills. We also have our Leaders Learning Live, which is great for those of you who are in the session today. It's every third Thursday of the month on different leadership topics. It's interview style. It's no cost to you on different topics. This month's topic is organizational and personal resilience. So you can go to our SAIL website to sign up for that. We also have other webinars that are recorded. So if there's another topic that you are interested in, all of that is on our website.
Marissa, can I just add one little piece here?
Yeah, definitely.
So our topic for June is organizational and personal resilience. And so this is a topic that we're hearing loud and clear from leaders that they need. And so we have shifted our focus to meet leaders where they are right now. And it's bittersweet that we're offering this because our most popular program is the Summer Leadership Institute. And because of the nature of that particular event, it's a very intensive in-person week-long retreat that happens in Hamilton, always the last week in July. It's like a SUNY tradition, 15 years strong. And it's led by Chet Warszynski, who is formerly of Cornell in organizational development, but he is kindly coming to provide this webinar on June 18th. So I would encourage you, if you have any interest in possibly enrolling in the summer leadership program next year or in a future year, this is a nice preview for you to hear from him and hopefully provide a message of strength to you and how to persevere throughout this with not only your own personal well-being, but your organization and your team. So I'll get off my soapbox.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so why we're all here today is the student leadership aspect. A couple folks have been with us since the beginning when we were planning on doing an in-person academy in June. And with everything that we have been dealing with, the public health crisis and all of those things that kind of shift the planning, we have decided to shift away from the in-person and still provide students with those skills, but in a different format. And we do feel that this virtual academy with the different seminars that we're going to be offering is going to do just that. We have been talking with campus liaisons, and we have, you know, communication can be a little bit more tricky right now, and focusing on just critical operations and being budget conscious and all of that. So we are listening, and we are being responsive to what you all have said. So with that, we have decided to make the fall 2020 student leadership offerings around these different aspects. So we're going to have a seminar series. I'll go into that in a minute. Leader speaker series, which is going to be part of the seminar series, and will involve having a leader from different industries come and talk to the students about the related topic of that month, and have the students have a chance to ask that leader questions. We're also going to have a mentoring component, a social media campaign, and alumni and cohort connection opportunities. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then also we will be giving the students who have successfully completed the academy a digital badge that they can put on their social media and be able to say, I made it through the academy. Okay, so our fall seminar schedule is as follows. You can see that it's pretty packed with different Fridays. It's going to be every Friday from 12 to 2, or every various Fridays on from 12 to 2. And we do have a Monday tucked in there at the end of October. But the first one will be a meet and greet, laying the foundation on how to set yourself up for success in college, but also knowing where they are. They might, not everyone is going to be a first year that's going to come into the academy. So we are going to make sure that we are meeting them where they are in their college career, whether they're a graduate student or a doctoral student. We'll be there for that. And then the September 25th, we're going to have a know yourself to lead others. So it's important, obviously, to know yourself and your identity. And that's going to be, it's going to positively impact how you lead others. So we're going to be talking about that. October is going to be focused a lot on mentoring. So in the beginning of October, we're going to talk about the importance of mentoring and having a mentor. And we're going to give them tips on how to get a mentor, as well as checking in with them at the end of the month to see how that all went. In addition to that, we're also going to be placing them in small groups, because yes, they're going to be a cohort, but it's also nice to be able to have a small group interaction so that they can get really connected with people within their small group. And then in November, we're working with the career services folks to provide an articulate your story to open the door to your future session, which is very important to be able to articulate your skills in an interview and just in interpersonal conversation. So we'll be doing that. And then on November 20th, working with diverse teams and really focusing on cultural intelligence in order to do that. And then we're going to wrap up on December 4th with program reflections and graduation. The students will need to be available for 80% or more of the student leadership programming. That's definitely an important component to this, because we want to make sure that they're getting the most out of it. And we're going to be ensuring that by having them fill out a quick survey following each session.
Marissa, there was a question in the chat about how we'll keep the students engaged. And I know you mentioned briefly the survey.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add to that Marissa and the design team have been talking about that. And so to keep them engaged, we'll be asking them after each session their top takeaways. And so what they'll do to start to hold them accountable with how they're going to use the information that they're learning in the session. So not only will it help us keep track of participation to make sure that they've actually engaged in the session, but it also keeps them motivated to really process the information. And then also, I think you wanted to share about recording the sessions too, right? In case people miss the live.
Yes, yeah, we will have the sessions recorded so that they can go back in to watch them if they do miss it for any reason. Because we know that although we picked Fridays because students usually don't have class, we know that sometimes that's not always the case. So with that, we are going to have them recorded so they will be able to view it, but then also be able to fill out that survey after they have viewed it. And so we'll be able to keep track that way. Thank you for mentioning that. Any other questions or comments? Oh,
not so far, but keep the questions coming. They're great. So feel free to use the chat, or we can even unmute you so you can ask your question.
Yes, thank you. And so we are going to be doing a social media campaign. The students who are in the academy, it's not absolutely required that they participate in this, but it's definitely recommended to be able to be part of the experience. So that will happen July 1st through September 1st. What we're doing now is we're working with our communications office at SUNY System to be able to market, or to be able to showcase different student stories about how they have shown leadership. And we're going to showcase 8 different students all across New York State. Our first 2, one is from Rockland, SUNY Rockland, and one is from SUNY Albany. So we're excited about that. That'll help kick off the social media campaign and hopefully motivate other students to jump on board with this. And I'm excited to see what they come up with, because I know that there's a lot of good things happening, and to be able to really highlight the positive that's coming out of something like this. Okay, so student eligibility, they must be enrolled either full-time or part-time in an accredited higher education institution, and also have graduated within 6 months of May 2020. I know when we talked to a few folks before, they said, I have some graduating seniors that could really use this this opportunity. Would they be eligible for this? The answer is yes to that. So students will need to be available for 80% of the program or more of the programming. And then the student applicants campus liaison, that is you, or hopefully you, if you have not committed yet, to review all of the campus nominations for your campus, not all of the student nominations, just the nominations for your campus. And just a quick rundown of the role of the campus liaison. It would be to encourage and promote nominations of students from your campus. There are, like I said, there are some people on this in this session that have been with us since the beginning, and they already have 2 students in mind that they are going to send. Their students have applied prior to now. And so if you are one of those liaisons, then this doesn't necessarily apply to you. If you want to just continue with sending those 2 students, that is completely fine. And then nominations can be self-nominations, or you may nominate students that you think you would like to send. And then you would be reviewing your specific campus's student applications and picking which 2 you would like to send at no cost. And then currently we have 21 campus liaisons, which is fantastic. If you are interested, but you have not signed up to be a campus liaison, you can visit our website, and it has a little button right there that says to sign on to be a campus liaison. We are going to be putting the campus liaisons onto our webpage. So if for some reason you are not comfortable putting your name and email onto the page, please let me know, email me, and we can take it off at least publicly on our website. But it is a good tool to be able to get students to know who's going to be involved in this, and also for other campus liaisons to see who is the liaison at the other campuses.
Marissa, we have 2 questions.
Okay.
So
I love
there was
questions.
a question. Yeah, so there was a question about how people are marketing this. So I did share that you're having a flyer created, and we'll also put together an email that can be forwarded out. Anything else you want to share about marketing?
Definitely the flyer, and we will also be having a social media campaign flyer as well, so that you would be able to promote the social media campaign as well as the academy itself.
Okay, and there will be an information session for students too.
Yes, yep, there will be an information session. It is, students can actually sign up right now on our website to be able to be a part of that. It's July 31st at noon.
I can put the link to register in the chat if that's helpful. And then the second question was, have the already accepted students been notified of the program's details?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I will be notifying them in the next week, this next week coming up. So I will work with the liaisons for that campus. I have been in touch with specific liaisons who need to have more, we need to talk more in order for them to be able to send their students, because it might be something where a student of theirs was interested and is no longer interested, or both students are interested, and just confirming that with the liaison that's how they want to move forward. So within next week, they will have the program details for that. I hope that was helpful. Okay. Okay, so some important dates for you all to know is nomination period will start June 30th. And I have if you have signed on to be a campus liaison on our website, I have your information. So I will be sending out to all the liaisons the nomination period details, the link to the application, and everything that you may need to market it to your students. And then the campus liaisons will review the applications from their campus at the end of August 21st to the 31st. And I apologize, this should have been the 31st. That's what I get for changing it. So this should be August 31st. I wanted to give more time for the campus liaisons to be able to review the applications. So definitely this will be the 31st for that.
Marissa, are you okay taking a couple of questions? Because we've got some more.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So how many students can participate, and when do they have to sign up by?
Yes. So that is a great question. You can send up to 2 students. So the second question was, when do they have to sign up by? It would be, they would have to get their nomination in by August 20th. So student nominations in by August 20th, And then you, as the campus liaison, would pick the 2 students that you want to send from those nominations that you received from your campus.
Another question. We had tried NSLS and it did not work. We also do our own leadership development. I do not want to take this away from this work we already do, but I do want to promote this as I know it is beyond my capabilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a valid comment. I think for our program, I think it's really, really great to be able to network with students all across the SUNY system. On our with our student leadership program last year, the students commented that that was the best part, is to be able to have connections that they still talk to, and also because we are creating a LinkedIn for them. Last year's group was very active on LinkedIn, and they were very encouraging to each other, both during the academy and then after. So I think that is one of the biggest benefits of this program, as opposed to different opportunities, is the fact that the network is huge for this, and the fact that you can be able to meet all of these different students and peers going through the same thing that you're going through, but then also meet different industry leaders and talk about leadership skills that you may need.
Can you also clarify, there's a question about, so students fill out an application on our website and then they review them and choose. Yep. They just want to make sure that's how it works.
Yes, you got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And another question, can campuses do their selection timeline earlier? This part of August is extremely busy on our campus. I'd rather do the nominations earlier if we could.
What a good question. You can. So if there is, if you know the 2 students that you want to send before that date, feel free to, we can communicate together on that, and so that we're both on the same page, so that that part of it would be solidified and confirmed. That timeline would just be for folks who are not necessarily in that scenario. So yes, you can do it earlier. And I hope that works for that person. I didn't see who sent Ruth. That, but okay. Yep. So yeah, Ruth, we can definitely get together on who you would like to send, the 2 students that you would like to send, and then we can go from there. Okay. Other questions?
If we pick our students on August 1st and then a student applies through SAIL website, what happens then?
Okay, so I'm thinking, so Ruth probably is asking for just an earlier date, just in general for everyone to be able to get.
Well, this is a separate person asking.
Okay.
So if they're going to pick their students on August 1st, will we be taking down, are you taking down the link so that we won't have the nomination period will essentially close?
Yeah, so we can work with the nomination system and be able to do that and just close it for your particular campus, so that it's not so that, like you said, you're not receiving nominations after you have picked the 2 that you would like to send.
Yeah, we can think about how best to handle that.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a few options too. Like we could, on that list you were talking about, Marissa, where you would list who the campus liaison is, you could say that the students have been selected for the 2020 year. Or we could even draft a wait list letter. So we can send a notice if a student does get an application in they've already made a determination that they won't be selected this year. Maybe we can have a wait list letter or a thank you
Absolutely.
rejection.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And also I'm thinking to put a note on top of the application to just say, please, before you fill this out, please check if your campus is still accepting nominations, or something to that effect. So we can make it work. That's a very good logistical question. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're good with questions for right now. Okay.
For now, yeah. Keep them coming though.
Okay, yes. So we have our design team. We are very thankful for them to work with them. We have met with them every month, once a month, to be able to work through what the schedule will look like. And they've been with us since we were thinking about the in-person one, but and they've really helped us to shift our thinking and to be able to create this virtual opportunity for students. So you may recognize some of them from your campus or organization, but we are thankful for their expertise with this. Okay, let's see. Questions or comments? I know we asked a lot of questions, some great questions. So are there any? And feel free to unmute yourself if that's easier. If you have any questions or comments or things that we can answer.
I'm also putting Marissa's email into the chat. So if you think of something after we hang up, which happens to me quite a bit, you'll have her contact information. There it is on the screen too.
And I am looking at the chat here. Great question, Laura. We are going to be talking to the SUNY SA because they absolutely should be involved in this. And to be able to see, not only just for the social media campaign to see if there are any students that would like to participate in that, but to also see what other collaborations that we can come up with.
So Kellyanne has a question about the badge. So she says, we already award a professionalism micro-credential through Credly. Is this through Credly too? So for now, it is through Credly. There's some things shifting with the contract. So it may be a different badging system at the point of graduation there at the end of the semester. But hopefully, that's smooth, and we'd love to be able to keep using Credly, which I think they're changing their name to Acclaim. But yeah, same company.
Yep. Great. Yes, and they'll have a specific badge for the academy, and to be able to talk about the fact that all of the different programming that they were able to be a part of, but also the fact that they were able to meet so many different students from all of the campuses. So. Is there one more? Oh, okay, yep. Good question. Will students need to find local mentors, or will you provide them? We are going to give them the tips and skills in order to find local mentors. And we're working with some folks on the design team who have some expertise in that. And so they will be able to take the initiative to find somebody that they feel like is going to relate to them, that that represents who they are as a person. So we're going to leave it up to them, but we are definitely going to give them resources in order to do that. These are great questions,
aren't they? Yeah, I just have to give kudos to Marissa because she has shifted this program 3 times now over the course of the quarantine. And so really has been so responsive to this evolving situation and coordinating with all of those people that you saw listed on that are part of the design team, reshuffling design meetings and dates, and the complete program has had a facelift. So I thank you so much for all the work that you've done on this, and to be able to offer a program that's going to really reach so many SUNY schools and students. And so I'm just so excited for this to launch in the fall. I think it's going to be fantastic. We'll be in an even stronger place next year because Marissa, I know, wants to bring back the large gathering of students in likely the Capital District. But now we've got options, so we can be innovative and reach more students and be able to offer this virtually. So thank you to Marissa.
Thank you, Carolyn. She's so nice. Thank you. No, I really, it's been great to be able to work with the design team, and especially Carolyn. As you could tell, she's very supportive, so I appreciate that. I did want to get to one of the questions that was in the chat about what if we find 0 students? And so if that's the case, definitely I will work with you. There's a lot of different options as far as working with different departments on your campus. Maybe it's in the Office of Opportunity Programs. Maybe it is something, you know, a student in a certain department who, maybe it's a higher ed administration student. There are different departments and collaborations that we can explore if you're finding that I'm really not finding anyone right now who would be interested.
Yeah, I know students have had plans to study abroad, and I think this is a nice substitute for, you know, some of those students who aren't able to do that. This is a way to connect with people that are from so many different, not only campuses, but states or countries. And so, you know, they're really going to come in contact with so many more students than they would have just taking traditional classes. So I think finding the students, you know, it will be challenging right now when we're all in quarantine, but that's why we're kicking things off with a social media campaign to try to find people where they are, and, you know, giving people time to communicate this over the summer and give the students a chance before the semester really gets underway.
Mm-hmm. And I know John and Kellyanne, and there's, I'm sure, others, but I'm going to shout you out a little bit. There's an applied learning liaison on every campus. So if you are not that person on the campus, but you want to connect with them to potentially find a student, that's another way to be able to get students interested in it.
2 more questions here, Marissa, for you. First, will this be offered in the spring semester as well? And then the second question is, are there recommendations for what class year this program is best for, underclassmen or upperclassmen?
Yes, so the first question, as far as if it's going to be offered in spring, we would like to offer this in spring. I think this is going to be something where, you know, we see the need as we're in this program, and if this is something where, you know, a spring program is in order, we definitely will explore that. But more details on that to come, because
it's our pilot year, so
yes,
we're hopeful that all will go smoothly. But I think after the semester concludes, we may call the liaisons back to get some feedback from them to keep improving the process and the program. So,
mm-hmm. And to answer the question about who is this for, it's for everyone, because I feel like we can always learn from someone, and they always have positive qualities to bring to a cohort. So, and with this programming, we are going to make it broad enough that it will resonate with a person who's a first year or a doctoral student. So feel free to market to any students that you feel would be interested in it.
Another question, is this best suited for emerging or advancing student leaders?
You said advancing. Sorry.
Yeah, so advancing student leaders. So I know you
Oh, okay.
asked questions about that in the nomination site about their interest in leadership development.
Yes. I am a big believer in don't count someone out if they're, if they have a beginning student leadership experience, let's, be a part of it. And if you have a lot of experience, great. I'm sure that there's a lot also that this program can provide you too. So same as the other, I guess a similar answer to the other question is really that it'll be applicable to everyone, all of your students. Okay. I think no more questions. Does everyone feel good and feel comfortable? And I know that there are some folks in this session that have already committed to be a campus liaison, and others that are like, I'm gonna listen to this info session and then I'm gonna decide for myself. Is there anything that we can help clear up or anything for you? Okay. Yeah, last year, our student cohort, and you can find this information on the page, but they were just a great group of students, and there are some testimonials on our page, but they were just so diverse. They were, we had a music industry major. We had just a wide range of students, and we are hopeful that will happen again, this cohort. In general, we know that SUNY is very diverse, so, oh, and I think, Mike, you raised your hand. Feel free
so I will unmute him.
Okay.
There we go, Mike. You should be able to talk.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. I'm really eager to have our students participate in this. Do we as a group get together just to share what we're doing on our campuses? Is that part of this, or is that a different project?
Yeah, so that is a good question. For this, it's student related, but Student Leadership Academy related, but I do think that there are some positive collaborations that can happen from getting all of the campus liaisons together to talk about what they're doing around student leadership. Is that what you were thinking, to have a group that can kind of brainstorm and just talk with each other? Yes, we can. Okay, great.
One thing we could do, Marissa, is set them up in a group on Workplace.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. We can do that as a place to talk, and then potentially set up a Zoom or a meeting with everybody if it works for their availability, to just brainstorm and network. That's great. Good thinking. Professional development for both the students and the faculty and staff. I love it. All right. Last comments, questions? There's one. Let's see.
Yeah, there was a specific question. Yep. Oh, you saw that. Okay, good.
Yeah. So thank you all. And my email is right there. Feel free to email me if things pop into your head. And I'll definitely be sending more information in the coming week or so. And I hope that we can get some great students and be able to provide these opportunities for them.
Thank you. It was nice to meet all of you.
Have a great weekend.
Marissa.
Thank you.